Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, I'm gonna keep coming at you with these videos because obviously the news is continuing to roll in. So I have some understanding as to what the latest information was, according to Sam Emick, I believe it was, who reported this. Please do not quote me on that. So let's just say it wasn't Sam and say it's just me coming up with some bull crap. How about that? That's to keep it safe. But honestly, this is what I am hearing. The Nets need to throw in basically another contract if they want to swap Kai for Westbrook, because of course those contracts don't match, with Kai being at 36 and Westbrook being at 47. So we already know that. Kyrie would have to be attached with either Royce O'Neal, who they just picked up from the Jazz, which I would be really happy with, Deron Sharp, who I'm not really familiar with, and or Seth Curry, which is obviously the key to all of this. If we can get Seth Curry in this, are you crazy? Seriously? The Nets are really going to throw in Seth Curry? Give them what they want. All right, so Kyrie and Seth Curry for Westbrook 27 and 29 is essentially what it's going to have to be. Now, if the Nets don't want to take Russell Westbrook, that throws a monkey wrench in things because a third team would have to come in, and it's as to which we would have to attach either THT or K Nunn in order to make that work. But of course, if we were to do that, there are ways to make that make sense for us. Maybe throw in something else from somewhere else, etc. So there are ways to make things make sense from there. But the key is, do you want to throw in 2029 pick? Because if you can't throw in the 2029 pick, that's what the snag is at this point. I think that's what's holding it up right now. 2027, I'm definitely throwing in. I've already committed to getting rid of that pick. If I have to get rid of that to get this deal done, I'm definitely doing that. I look at the situation. I say if the Nets don't want Westbrook, I got to throw in THT. I don't want to do that necessarily. K Nunn. It depends on how you feel about K Nunn in the Laker front office. So it's up to you how they feel. I'm sure they would probably more rather get rid of THT, honestly, just to shave off the salary. So we'll see what they think about that. But I don't know if they're going to want to throw in that 29 pick. I think they really, really see that as a way out of any situation that could be bad. I think they see that as a pick that helps them understand that at least we have some homegrown talent in the first round coming at some point in time in this decade. And I do understand the importance of having your own homegrown picks, especially with uncertainty ahead. I think the thing about it is I would probably have to convene about how best to move forward in trying to acquire a first round pick. That would be my equation before committing to this. I want to already have a contingency plan in mind that's going to secure me a first round pick, even if it's 2, 3, 4 steps down the road. I want to make sure I can get a first rounder before 2025, let alone 2027. So that's the key. Once we move this into place, if we throw 29 into this, I want to know that Rob Pelinka can secure me a first round pick somehow, or more than one somehow, before that time. Because if he can't secure me a way to get somebody's first round pick somehow, if I can't see a path to that pick, I don't feel comfortable with this. Because when you give away this much pick equity after you're already giving up so much pick equity, and you still have uncertainty on your roster with AD, that's just gonna be more of a situation where I'm still relying upon him to stay healthy in order for me to win. We got those odds right now, albeit much less, obviously, with Russell attached to us. But I don't assume I have to do this deal in order to get rid of Westbrook, so that's not a problem in terms of what would make sense to me. So this is a problem here because I don't. I hear Nick Wright's point of view. I really do. He says, "Why are you guys holding on to picks? As if you guys expect to be bad when you know you need your locale." Well, there's a couple answers to that. For me, I think one of them is knowing our fan base and how important homegrown talent is. If you can't provide us a pick between now and 2029, you're gonna lose a lot of people. You're gonna lose a lot of people because there's a lot of Laker fans who really, really take pride in having our own homegrown draft picks. We always have. You should see how excited we are just to have the young kids that we have right now. The fact that Max Christie was a draft pick to the Lakers, we're gonna treat him like he's a first rounder. We don't see him as a second rounder. I hope you guys know that, especially since the success of Austin Reeves. We don't see him as no second rounder. So that's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I think for our particular fan base, you want to kind of cater to that because that matters to us. In the grand scheme of things, I see his point of view as well, because we do have the locale. We do have LeBron James. It's like, God, why do you think you're going to be bad? But do you see how far down the road that is? And you see how old LeBron is. And you see AD's health issues in 2022 are already concerning. That's 2029. That's why. It's like, if we're talking about 2025, 2026, it's like, Nick Wright's logic is right. We don't expect to be bad by then. By then, yeah, there's a chance we could be bad, man. We can miss out on free agents. Why? Because we've done that. The Laker locale didn't get us LaMarcus Aldridge. The Laker locale didn't get us Carmelo Anthony. The Laker locale couldn't get us LeBron James sooner. You know, it's like Laker locale couldn't get Dwight Howard the first time. Like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. So I hear Nick Wright's point of view, but your infrastructure have to be solid. And unfortunately, we're not there. And with the situation at hand, you can't possibly see a path to that if you're going to deplete yourself of future assets all the way through 2029. That right there is going to leave you guys on edge in the front office because you don't have the way out you need to kind of maneuver and create flexibility, and you're going to always be chasing superstars. Maybe they come, maybe they don't. You're going to want out of that. Eventually, you're going to end up having a bad breakup with one of those superstars because you're going to have to trade them for picks to get out from under that problem. Just when you see it coming, you don't even go down that path. That's why the Lakers don't want to give up the 2 picks, buddy. That is exactly why. So, the thing is, if you really want to bring in Kyrie Irving, I do. I think he's the answer to us having an opportunity to make this season a win-now season, and any other path to that, especially now that I know how the team is being constructed, ain't going to get it done. So we're going to have to make the Kyrie move and probably do another move to get us some shooting just to be good enough to compete for a championship, even if everybody's healthy. Just how we constructed the team just right now. So that's what I'm looking at. It's like, maybe if we're going to go all the way in the win now mentality, we probably do have to go all in and suffer the losses. But again, have the contingency plan in place for multiple picks. Have a plan for that. See yourself doing something down the road to get you those picks back. And if you can do that, then you have no problem giving up 27 and 29 because you know you're going to have 25 and 26. You know? Now, that's not an easy thing to do. And it's not a thing that you can actually guarantee, which is why this is a risk that you ultimately are going to have to go out on a limb to take and make happen. Because even if you had this plan to get these picks, don't necessarily mean it has to fall into place. There is no way to actually secure that your plan will succeed. But I'll tell you this, you give up those 2 picks and the plan you have in front of you will succeed because you have Kyrie Irving on your team and possibly Seth Curry on top of AD and Bron and all this other stuff you put together, and you really do need the shooting that Seth Curry provides, given the fact that you're going to need that secondary shooter. So if you're going all in, you may want to try to see if you can make something happen for yourself, even if it means doing something you don't want to do. And if you're not going all in, then you know what you need to do, and you don't want to do that. So hard decisions everywhere. I'm not saying anything is easy, but you got to commit to something. And it seems like we've already put our foot in the win now category. So dump the damn picks. Period. If you're going to go with Bron, it's F the picks. He already drew his line in the sand with that a couple months ago. I'm just going to be real with you guys. It ain't deeper than that. Do I want to give up the picks? Of course not. But if I'm going to be in the ship with Bron, then he already told me what time it is. It's F the picks. And plus, we're bringing one of the greatest players to ever dribble a ball to us in Kyrie Irving, who's probably going to make the next 4 or 5 years really, really fun to watch for the team, even if we're not that good. And push come to shoves, if he starts acting up, then you can blame everything on him, just like I always say. I hate to be that guy, but you ain't going to blame it on Bron, and you ain't going to blame it on yourselves. So it's going to be incumbent on him to be his best. And he will. I have no doubt, because he's great. And he's just going to mature from here. That's it. And his game is not predicated on speed. We've already been through all this. I just think it makes sense to go all in, or it makes sense to blow it all up. And if you can't do one or the other, you can't have your foot one in and one out. You can't. I can weigh all of our risk, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to protect ourselves from all risk, I'm trading Bron, I'm trading AD, I'm trading Westbrook, and I'm bringing back picks. That'll make it all safe. We're real safe then. And we suck too. So that's what you got. That's what you're faced with. I'm not saying it's an easy decision. I don't like the odds of us. Not odds. That's not the word. I don't like the options is the word in front of us as it pertains to what we have here. I don't like those. I think there's an easier way to let go of Russell Westbrook contract without giving up these 2 picks. That's what I know. Now, y'all know what I've been on. Even though it's been reported, and I didn't want to tell y'all it's been reported because I went on a 25-minute spiel. But it's been reported that the Lakers are out on KD. They do not want to report. They do not want to give AD up in a trade for KD. So, I think that's just a thing that is a reflection of what they feel about AD. They want to go forward with AD. Maybe it's a reflection of LeBron James wanting to play with AD. It's an organizational decision. They value AD in that way. And maybe they have questions about where KD is. Maybe they have questions about the chemistry. Maybe they have questions. So, from the Laker perspective, if I have questions, then and if I prioritize LeBron James over those 2, then potentially I'm gonna keep LeBron James guy over bringing them in, right, to split up LeBron James and his guy. So the Lakers have to weigh that against stepping on Bron's toes, because if you're bringing in KD and that steps on Bron's toes by letting go of AD, you got a problem. Now, if Kyrie's choosing to come with the Lakers, KD gonna have a spot if you don't move AD. So it does become a situation where it's like, well, you can't make everybody happy, but you don't want to piss off the people who are already here. So if someone wants to join, they can join. But if they can't bring someone else, it just is what it is. Maybe that's how the Lakers are looking at it. Me personally, I'm on the fence because I see the pros in having AD minus KD, and I see the pros in having KD minus AD. I see the pros. I think you can probably win both ways if you bring Kyrie to the situation. But I have less questions about KD's shot making. But I do have questions about KD's Achilles and whether or not it's going to rear its ugly head at any moment. Meanwhile, like I told you guys, every time every time Anthony Davis hits the floor, I have an anxiety attack. So it becomes a situation where I wonder if that I can weigh that against the Achilles injury for KD and balance it all the way out to being scared for both of them. And so they're both Pantheon great players if they're at their best. They're both haven't been at their best since we last seen them. Both NBA champions. I mean, it's like, it's just about what the organization feels at this point. Who would you rather have, AD or KD? AD's younger. KD's going to be probably a better fit for what you need based on the team you have currently. His contracts are both long as hell. You're happy to pay them both. Hell, you want all 3. But, it's one of those situations where you've committed to Kyrie. So, it's weird, it's a really weird situation. But at the same time, it's like KD is going to have such a hefty price tag to where if you trade for him in this deal, you're giving up way more than what it is on this paper, obviously. So, it then becomes a situation where do you even have enough? But as I said, if they're forcing their way here, then of course you got enough. It's going to be whatever you give them. So, if those 2 don't want to play with one another, or if AD and Kate and Bron still want to play with one another, then I don't know. Who knows? That's what it really comes down to. But the Lakers say they out, so they out. So this is what it looks like. It looks like Kyrie and KD are not going to be playing with one another no more if LA is still in the mix. And I'm looking at this paperwork. I don't know what the Lakers are leaning on because I know how they feel about that 29 pick. I know how they feel about it. And so this could blow everything up because Bron gonna want them to throw that 29 pick in there. I know he's already told us that. So this is the moment of truth for the Los Angeles Lakers. Are you gonna do what Bron wants you to do, whatever that looks like? I don't know. Or are you gonna do what you want to do, whatever that looks like? I don't know. That's the God's honest truth. But if I'm Rob Pelinka, I tell you what I want to do. I want to trade Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That's what I want to do. Or just to be real with you, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I probably want to trade for KD and keep AD if I'm Rob Pelinka, because that's like the biggest splash ever, right? To be honest with you. But for myself personally, I want Kyrie on this team. And so that's what I'm shooting for personally. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting dynamic to have all three of those players, though. I would be dead lying if I said I ain't already thought of that. AD, KD, and Bron is ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. But, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where, again, Kyrie's on a $36 million contract. You can't fit all of them on there. That's just not. You'd only have 4 players. That's all you would have. So, can't be greedy, man. Can't have everything. But the Lakers do have to make a decision. And somebody's not going to be happy, and that's just what it is. But as of the reports, KD is the one that's not coming to the Lakers. So that's what we're rolling with as of right now. Although, I'm not sure how this is actually going to shake out. It's just like they were saying there was no chance Kyrie was coming to the Lakers. I ain't buy that. And the Lakers being out on KD, I don't buy that. You know why? Because there's too many voices in the front office, and KD is way too great of a player for everybody to be unanimous on that. Hell no. Hell no. When I tell you hell no, hell no. If there's 5 voices in there, 2 of them are saying yes, 3 are saying no, I'm almost positive of that. Because KD too great not to. No. So, the Lakers are out on KD. Maybe KD's out on the Lakers, but trust you me, there are people in the Lakers organization who have different opinions about that, and that's just natural. That's absolutely natural. So, that's what my speculation is. And so, I appreciate you guys rocking with me on this situation. That's the information. You know, the rest is just speculation. But, yeah, hopefully the Lakers can figure out a way to make a decision and stick to it. I think giving up the picks is ultimately what you have to commit to based on what you've already started to do. But if there's another way, find it. For God's sakes, if there's another way, please find it. My name is BDL44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.